Yo, this is Boštjan from Bosslifehacks.com, and I'm again in the beautiful Ljubljana, Slovenia, here in the old town. And today we're talking about a very crucial topic, which is, should you go all in? Okay, here's the basic premise. People tell you, burn the bridges, right? Like burn the ships, go all in, full on, 100%. However, it's a little tricky, okay? Because not everybody should do that. Right? There's a couple of different factors that might kind of come into the equation, and that's why we made this video. Okay, to answer this question really quickly, probably not, okay? So there is such a thing as an 80-20 principle, right? So basically, no matter what your hobby or passion is, whether it's like cinematography, sports, like some different professions, there is such a thing as an 80-20 principle. So even if you put in 10, 12, or even more hours per day, you won't get any better results, okay? Because it's about working smart and doing the right things, not just putting in crazy and insane amounts of time, okay? Maybe sports a little bit different, because if you want to be truly the best, you need to put in really insane amounts of time. But again, there is such a thing as 80-20 principle. Another thing that might be considered into the equation is the chance that you kind of figure out, you know, like what your passion or purpose or goal in life is pretty low, right? Especially if you're watching this video, you're probably still on the way of figuring it out, right? So if you haven't yet decided what you want to do for the rest of your life, you definitely shouldn't, you know, put all your resources, all your time, all your money, all your energy into one single thing, right? An example would be maybe, you know, end of high school, early university years, you're doing, you know, you find a hobby, maybe it's e-commerce or doing some online gig, or maybe it's marketing, I don't know, whatever it is, right? And a lot of people think about, oh, like, let me just do this full time and I can just like quit my school, quit everything else, just focus on this. Or another example is people who go hardcore into business, you know, they really make really great money and all that, but then their social aspects suffer, right? They don't have any like partners, you know, they don't see their friends, they don't see their families. It can be very rough as well. Again, so this was another, you know, pointer of why it's maybe not the best to go all in, to put in 100% forever and all your time and energy, right? Another one on the same side is it a hobby or is it a living, okay? Again, if it's just like something that you kind of started to chase, started to get to know, like that's important, but it's not important enough that you put everything into it, right? However, if it's a living, you know, maybe like you're starting off as an, I don't know, like a translator, right? Then, you know, of course, like if you can't pay for your expenses, like you need to amp up the work, right? Then maybe it might be the time to go all in or to put in more effort, right? So, as we said, just to conclude really quickly the points that kind of go against going all in. It's like there's such a thing as 80-20 principle, and you can do a lot of things if you just do the right actions. The time put in is not crucial, the energy and the effort is. Another thing is that you probably haven't figured it out yet, and that means you should try many different things to kind of bring you closer to what you should be doing. And then the next thing is it a hobby or is it your living, okay? So depending on those, you might want to reconsider. And then we go to the pros, right? Why you should go all in, okay? All those, you know, might be easy. Some people might take them as an excuse to never really pursue something full on with 100%, okay? Many people are afraid to really commit to a project, you know? For example, a lot of people ask me, oh, should I start a YouTube channel? Should I start doing some videos? Then they do 3 videos, they stop, right? No, like, and it's not just about the videos, it's about any single thing that you do, whether it's a sport, whether it's some area of self-improvement, whether it's your business. Like, at some point you need to decide, okay, this is the thing that I want to do and I will go all in, okay? You consider all the factors that we talked about before, but then you really do it, right? Because in the end, it doesn't even matter if you are successful in that endeavor, because the sole process and the sole you practicing these things so much will give you other benefits, such as increased willpower, more perseverance, you know, you will develop healthy work habits, like you will gain so much from that thing, you know. Let's say, for example, that, you know, you never really committed to something and you want to be a painter, you know, maybe for a year or two you will just paint all the time, every day, as much as you can, right? Even after that, if you decide, okay, this is not for me, I'll be a web developer, you know, it doesn't matter, because those work habits, that perseverance, that kind of proneness to fatigue and to, you know, to negative critic and all that, that will kind of help you in any other thing that you decide to do, right? And then after you decide to actually go all in, the question arises, right? Like, am I doing enough? Am I putting in enough effort? Am I doing it for a long enough period of time? And it's a funny question, because I asked this when I was still living in London. I went to a cool seminar by James Altucher, author of Choose Anything, or I don't know, like this cool hedge fund manager. And I told him, look, I'm doing this and that. I've been really busting my ass doing it for a long time. Like, how do you know? Is it just me not doing enough, or there's really no future in this, you know, particular pursuit, right? And he answered very briefly but super good. And he said, well, is there any traction? Traction meaning, like, are there any responses to what you're doing, right? Maybe, I don't know, like you're doing videos. Very simple way of measuring traction is, are people responding to them? Are people commenting them? Are you sharing them on social media? Like, are you getting paid, you know? Very, very simple methods of traction. So what I would do is, I would kind of, you know, go all in and then give yourself certain milestones. Maybe after month 1, maybe after 3 months, maybe after a year, maybe after 2, okay? And then compare if there is any traction to the different actions that you're doing. And if there's no traction after, say, 3 months, okay, you gave it your best shot, it's probably better to leave that off, okay? Take the willpower, the perseverance, the work habits that you've gotten, and move on to something else, okay? However, if there is some traction, okay, people are slowly responding, you get more and more views on each video, you're starting to make a little money, okay? That means there is some traction, right? So you need to probably put in even more of that effort, right? As a short conclusion, if you're facing the question, should I go all in? Should I burn all the bridges behind? The short and sweet answer is, well, it depends where you are. There are a couple of things that kind of advise you to not go all in, meaning you're probably, you know, if you're watching this, you probably haven't figured out, you know, the meaning or the path yet, so you should be trying out many, many different things. There is such a thing as the 80-20 principle, meaning that, like, it's not just crucial to put in 12 hours a day, but it's crucial to work smart and to put in effort, right? And then you can do more in less time, you know, focusing on the important. And also, is it a hobby or is it a living, you know? If you're just trying something out, probably not a good idea to go all in yet. If it's your living and you're depending on that to put food on the table or to pay your rent, then it might be better to go all in. However, if you never ever in your life went all in for anything, you know, any sport, like basically anything, then I strongly advise you to do it, because you will learn work habits, perseverance, willpower. You will get so many side benefits that it doesn't even matter if you are successful or not. And then last but not least, if you do decide to go all in, how do you know if there's anything happening? The answer is traction. So, are you getting more views? Are you starting to earn some money? Is there something, you know, bigger happening or not? If it's not, after say 3 months, you might want to drop it. Again, this was Boštjan from Bosslifehacks.com here in beautiful Ljubljana, Slovenia, in the Old Town. Drop me some comments under the video. Do you agree with the topics? Have you ever went all in for anything? What was it? How did it turn out? I'd be very glad to know that. Let me know and I'll answer to all the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.